Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at finding the volume of spheres, and we should be experts by now on finding volume and using our formula chart. Okay, so first off I want us to find volume on our chart. Number one says, what does V represent? V stands for volume. Right? Okay, so let's see. Right here we have volume of a sphere. And so what I want you to notice is that it looks a little bit, the formula looks a little bit different than our other two volume formulas, in that it does not have a capital B. It does not have the area of the base. So let's talk about that formula. It says, what does the R represent? Well, hopefully we still know that the R represents the radius. Okay, and it's question 3 says, does a sphere have a base? And the answer is no. That's why it does not have a capital B. No, it does not have a base. And then it says, what does the 3 represent in the formula? So if you'll notice, the R, the radius, has an exponent of 3. And what that means to do is that means to cube the radius. Okay, it means to cube the radius, or to the 3rd power. Okay, so our volume formula for a sphere, all we have to do is simply do 4/3 times pi times our radius cubed. Okay? Now I'm going to attempt to draw you a picture, but I'm not really good at drawing three-dimensional. So let's see. I'm going to see, that's not a good picture. Okay. So here's an example of a sphere. And let's say that it says 10 meters right here. Well, remember, because the line is going all the way across, that actually means that I have given you the diameter. Right? The diameter is 10, so how do we get the radius? Remember, we have to divide it by 2 to get the radius. So the radius is 5. So when we go to plug this in to our calculator, we're going to say, to find the volume of this sphere, we would say that the volume equals 4/3 times pi times our radius, which was 5, cubed. Now you can do this with just a regular calculator, but I want to look at how we would do this with Desmos, and I got a couple of, clear this out. Okay. So here is my Desmos on my phone. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 3, makes a nice pretty fraction. Notice I'm going to arrow to the right to get my cursor out of the denominator. I'm going to use the pi button, and then times my radius, which was 5. And then if I want to do an exponent greater than 2, I'm going to hit the a to the b power. So most calculators have something like that where it's showing the exponent to be something other than 2. And then all I have to do is type in a 3, and there's my answer. Now if I'm rounding this, this one's hard. If I'm rounding this to the hundredths place, so let me write this number down. We've got 523.5987. Okay, I put up extra digits in there. So this one's a little bit tricky. The 9 is in the hundredths place. And so the 8 tells us to raise the score. Well, that's tricky because the 9 is going to raise to 10, which then makes the 5 round up. So 523, and I'm going to write 0.60. And that just shows that I really rounded this to the hundredths place. Okay? And that's it. That's all there is to finding the volume of a sphere.